Hello, today I would like to present my new iOS application called iGoDispatch for Boeing 737-300. This application is similar to the other ones that I developed for J. Roland's CRJ200 as well as Saab 340A by Leading Edge Simulations. iGoDispatch is much more than just a flight planner. You can create a flight plan that would also include seeds and stars using Aerosoft or Navigraph navigation data. The application will calculate how much fuel is required for a flight. You can load the plane with passengers and cargo and calculate the plane's weight and center of gravity. Loading can be done straight from the application using a Wi-Fi connection. Moreover, you can connect the application to X-Plane during your flight, and the application will track your flight dynamically, adjusting the center of gravity offset. You can also download your after-flight report that would indicate any mistakes that you made during the flight. The application even includes in-flight announcements in 7 languages. The application is still being developed. Today, I would like to show you just a few things that the application will do. Let us plan our flight. Today, we're flying from Toronto to Miami with an alternate airport in Fort Lauderdale. We enter the ICAO codes of the airports in the relevant text fields. Next, we select the destination airport. We may also select the alternate airport and the runway, which are optional. Once the departure airport is selected, we will select the runway, which will be used for departure, as well as the standard instrument departure. You may also see detailed information about each of the selected runways by tapping the I button. Next, we proceed with our flight plan and we select our waypoints and airways. At this point, the flight plan has been created. You may see the full flight plan that would also indicate the distance and bearing between each waypoint. Furthermore, we may even edit the flight plan by selecting a waypoint that you would like to delete and then removing it from the flight plan. Or we may delete the selected flight plan completely and enter a new one. Next, we're going to download the current METAR report and winds aloft information. Go to the METAR panel and tap the Download METAR button. METAR has been downloaded and the main parameters are indicated on the screen for each of the airports. If you want to see the full METAR report, simply tap on each of the screens and the report will be displayed. Next, we will download winds aloft information from X-Plane. Tap on the download button and wait till all the data has been downloaded. We have 2 winds aloft datasets. The first one is the wind direction and speed for 3 layers specified by the X-Plane and extrapolated by the application based on the flight level chosen by you. The second dataset includes the wind forecast for the United States that X-Plane downloads from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. If your flight is within the United States, this wind information will be used to determine the air distance and hence the required amount of fuel for a flight. If we are flying in US, we can also see the closest wind forecast station. If your flight is outside of the United States, then the application will use the wind speed and direction at your current location extrapolated for your flight level. If you do not use the winds aloft forecast for US, you may enter wind speed, direction, and temperature manually. Again, the application uses a complex algorithm to calculate the air distance. Basically, what it does, it calculates air distance for each leg of the flight by applying wind component for this particular segment. We go back to the first tab and see that the air distance has changed as it now accounts for the winds. We are probably done with the flight plan. We can now load the plane. We go to the Load panel and select the parameters that would be used to calculate the amount of fuel required. We select our flight level, APU, and taxi time. We set whether we will use APU during flight, whether we will maintain our speed under 250 knots below 10,000 feet, whether we will have our AC packs on high, whether we will have anti-ice on engine and wings during flight, and whether we will have anti-ice during descent. Now we go to the Passengers panel and load the plane with passengers and cargo. Next, we load the cargo compartments. The application calculates the estimated takeoff center of gravity as you move your sliders. Next, we go to the Fuel panel. Based on our current flight plan and load, the application calculated how much fuel is required for taxi and APU, for the trip from departure to destination, as well as to the alternate airport, how much final reserve and contingency fuel is needed, and also how much additional fuel is required for the 250 knots limitation, APU during flight, anti-ice, and so on. Based on the fuel estimate, we load our fuel tanks by moving these sliders. As we do it, the application calculates the estimated takeoff center of gravity. If we need the precise amount of fuel, we may also use the text fields for each of the tanks. The last thing I will show you today is the ACARS panel. This is where you may track your flight and adjust the plane's center of gravity dynamically. You have your flight plan on the map. You may get detailed information about each of the waypoints by tapping the relevant icon. For example, information for airports will include all runways and ILS frequencies if available. Turn on the ACARS switch. Your current position is detected and your plane is indicated on the map. You may also see the current detailed flight information. In addition, the application will also produce in-flight announcements for you.
Mesdames et messieurs, je suis votre chef de cabine. Au nom du capitaine et de tout l'équipage, je vous souhaite bienvenue à bord de Boeing 737-300, vol direct pour Miami INTL. Notre temps de vol sera de 0h30. Nous volerons à une altitude de 34 000 pieds. Maintenant, veuillez vous assurer que le dossier de votre siège est bien droit et que le plateau est en position verticale. De plus, assurez-vous que votre ceinture de sécurité est bien bouclée. Nous vous recommandons d'éteindre maintenant tout équipement électronique. Nous vous rappelons qu'il s'agit d'un vol non fumeur. Il est interdit de fumer dans tout l'avion, y compris les toilettes. Désactiver ou détruire les détecteurs de fumée des toilettes est interdit par la loi. Je vous remercie.
There are plenty of other things that I still work on, but this should give you some idea of the application. I hope you're going to like it when it's released. And have a safe flight!